Today's Toy Spot, we'll be having a look at the Mattel DC Universe Batman Legacy Edition. We're going to be having a look at classic Catwoman. There's only 2 figures available. Technically, if you want to count, you can say 4, sure. Because there's the Arkham City Harley Quinn and Nightwing that were really technically part of this wave. But if you want to count the comic end of it, there was really only the Catwoman and then the first appearance Batman. First appearance Batman, I think I only saw him twice at Toys R Us. This Catwoman still warms the pegs. And for anyone who wants to know what peg warming is, it's basically a figure that will not sell and continues to occupy space at a toy store. Perhaps its biggest strike, if anything, is I would say it's more geared towards the collector rather than the child. For a kids section, for a boys toy section, I don't know, putting a female figure like Catwoman here out is a guaranteed sell. Perhaps that is the reasoning why this figure has just continued to sit. On the side of the package, we got a picture of Catwoman in her early attire. The figure does include an exclusive comic book poster. And on the back, again, those 2 figures available in this wave. We got first appearance Batman, as well as Catwoman. The read-up says, cunning, seductive, audacious. A jewel thief with an insatiable appetite for the perfect crime. The Catwoman first appeared as the cat in Batman issue number 1. Although it wasn't until years later that she donned her flowing purple and green costume, the feline fatale, whose real name is Selina Kyle, has always skirted the line between seductive lawbreaker and reluctant altruist. And, in part because of her victimless crimes, the conflicted Catwoman has always held a special place in the Dark Knight's heart. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? And again, there's a picture of Catwoman at the top there. Looks to be included, in the picture there's a picture of a cat. I would have preferred if there would have been a cat or something with Catwoman, but oh well. What I am going to do is take a bit of a break. I'm going to get this out of package, and when we come back, when we reconvene, we're going to get a better look at classic Catwoman. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. As for the poster that comes with Catwoman, we'll just open this up here. A very fantastic poster. Is the Catwoman an ally of the dynamic duo, or has she returned to crime? You be the jury to decide as Gotham City bows to the Empress of the Underworld. There's Batman and Robin. Pretty nice looking poster. This also is Batman number 65. Just rolling that up. Gonna put that aside. Catwoman, as with Batman, does come with a Golden Age stand. If I move my thumb out of the way, you can see it does say Catwoman on the front. Once again, the 89 style Batman logo at the top there. And once again, a very small peg. Look how small, look how short that peg is on this display stand. Now, Catwoman does have 2 holes, one on either foot. But the problem is, with that peg being so short, much like the Batman, it really doesn't really let the figure, well, it doesn't give a good enough secure fit for the figure to stay on the base. You pretty much just have to layer on top of that peg and hope that it's enough to keep her on there. I really don't know why that peg could not have been a little longer. Just a little longer. Then it would have been easy to put the figure on the display stand. It wasn't going to go anywhere. That I don't understand. I just don't understand. Putting that down, let's have a look at Catwoman. It's not a bad face. It's kind of really along the lines of the Black Canary, which shared almost a very similar sculpt. I tell you really what my biggest problem is with some of these figures, and really DC Universe figures as a whole. Have you noticed that they really seem to be against the idea of an expression? Am I the only one that notices that? Figures really, as a whole, don't tend to get a lot of expression in them. I would have preferred if she had been smiling. I don't know, something. It just kind of seems like she's just going with the flow until her shift is done, and then she's going home. This really isn't her life. As they say, she works to live, she doesn't live to work. It clearly looks like Catwoman does not live to work. Again, really, just a smirk, a smile, something devilish on her would have been nice. With this kind of bland, almost lifeless face, it just doesn't, I don't know. It's not a bad face, but just Spot's not feeling it. I mean, should Spot be really nitpicking the face of an action figure? Maybe not. But you know what I'm saying? Does anybody know what Spot's saying? Just a little bit of personality, a little something, I think would have made this figure a lot better. The eyes aren't bad. Paint-wise, it's a little splotchy near the bottom, but all things considered, it's not too bad. I don't know if I like the violet that they used for this figure. Boy, Spot, you're really picking apart this figure. To me, I think I would have gone with almost a little darker of a purple and not this pinkish purple. Now, granted, on the camera, it does look a little darker than what it is actually in person. Catwoman also is featuring a green cape. I think the choice of green is really nice. She's got a very, I don't know, practical outfit. I definitely couldn't say it was practical. And then she's got herself the high heel boots. Again, not a very practical accessory, really, when you think of a criminal that's going to probably be running on rooftops. Maybe high heels would not have been a good choice. Some pumps, maybe some Nike shoes would have been nice. There really isn't a lot going on with her outfit. She's definitely got a little bit of low cleavage going on there. Little leg, little exposed leg going on the side. The one other drawback to the figure is the fact that she utilizes your standard DC Universe figure or female figure arm. I kind of hope that they're going to change this out at some point. These figures, these arms always feel so fragile to me. One plus I can make is at least they've painted in her nails. And I also like the fact that the one nail, or the one hand, even though it's a rubbery hand as you can see, at least it's out and it looks like she's going to claw something, you know. I also really like the hair. It's a little flat here. It could have done a little something more. But it's still not too bad. Really, they have all the pieces in place to give us a 90s style Catwoman. And really, they would simply be able to reuse the same head. Probably just change the coloring out a slight bit. And give her just a different body. Well, certainly get rid of this and just give us a full purple suit with, you know, the higher black boots kind of thing. Catwoman's articulation. She has a swivel in the head. Now her hair does seem to get in the way sometimes moving this head. She has your standard variety pin and socket shoulder. You can rotate at the bicep, a bend at the elbow, a rotation at these very rubbery hands. Look at them. Look how rubbery these hands are. She does also have a bend at the upper torso, a rotation in the waist. Now the waist articulation is a little death-defying, can I use it? It's a little unrealistic, but oh well. The legs do bend forward, slightly back and forth, rotation in the thigh, bend at the knee. I want to say it rotates at the boot, maybe not, but there's definitely that pivot at the bottom as well. Accessories, I think, would have really helped this figure. And some personality, I think, certainly would have made this figure a little bit better too. Now, maybe I'm just finding fault with it. Perhaps it's the fact that, you know, if you've collected as many of these DC Universe figures as I have, after a while you start noticing the same kind of things popping up again and again. And I think in the case of Catwoman here, just something a little more. Perhaps it's time that they step up the game and give us a little more personality in the face. Still, Catwoman's not a bad figure. And being a Batman enthusiast like myself, I mean, to collect really any variety of Batman villain, I mean, they could just keep re-releasing Catwoman, Silver Age, Golden Age, Modern Age. So I probably will continue to pick them up. As for classic Catwoman here, I'm going to give her a 7. And once again, I can understand why this probably sits in the pegs at Toys R Us. What young boy is going to ask his mother for a Catwoman figure? Still, not a bad figure. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the DC Universe, the Mattel DC Universe Batman Legacy Edition Classic Catwoman. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.